Overpaying for anything sucks, especially socks, so why pay $45 for a single pair of grip socks when you can spend less than half? Pure Grip Socks Pro feature our best materials for optimal fit, moisture wicking, and performance at a fair price, just $16.99 a pair at puregripsocks.com.
Looking for a cheap pair of football boots but don't want to compromise quality or performance? Well, you're in luck, because stacked here right next to me are what I believe to be the top 5 best cheap football boots of 2022 for $100 or less. Think of it as the staircase of value for money. And do keep in mind that some of these boots do retail for more than $100. However, through sales as well as exclusive SR4U coupon codes, all of these can be had for around $100 or significantly less. If you're interested in any of them and looking for the best deal possible, check out the links down below. Drop a like on the video if you find it helpful, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and without further ado, in no particular order, because football boots are very much about personal preference and everybody likes something a little bit different, here are the top 5 best cheap football boots of 2022. Now, New Balance is typically not a brand that most people would consider when buying a new pair of football boots. However, 2022 has been a very strong year for the brand, and I think it's about time that you start giving New Balance a hard look, because the 442 version 2 Pro that I'm holding here in my hands is one of the best value for money options on the market, period. They retail for $130, so they're on the higher end of what is considered budget friendly. However, the quality is like that of a $200+ football boot. The kangaroo leather through the forefoot and toe box area is top notch. The synthetic leather or actual leather through the midfoot, depending on the colorway, feels fantastic. The central lacing system and standalone tongue, while traditional, just works extremely well. They're available in regular as well as wide fit, so there's a variation that will fit everybody comfortably. And the sole plate and stud pattern, again, feels like something that would be on a high-end football boot. Not to mention, as an overall package, they are lighter than some of the most popular speed boots on the market that retail for $250+. It's a very impressive package, and again, one of those football boots that for the money, you just can't go wrong with. With an honorable mention going to the Nike Premier 2, a really solid pair of football boots and $20 less expensive at $110. They too feature a kangaroo leather upper. However, in comparison to the 442, they're a little bit heavier. The stud pattern's not quite as aggressive. The sole plate doesn't feel quite as premium. And from a comfort perspective, there's an argument to be made that the New Balance feel a little bit better as well. Still really good football boots. However, given the choice between these and the 442, I think the 442 is worth the extra $20. I have never been a big fan of sub $100 takedown models in the speed category of any brand. And the reason for that is because typically they offer nothing in common with the high-end variations that everybody wants to compare them to. However, this year with the Nike Zoom Mercurial Vapor 15 Academy retailing for $85, while they are quite a ways off the top-end Vapor 15 Elites, which retail for $250, I actually think there is some solid high-end Mercurial DNA incorporated into this much less expensive variation. The Nike Skin Upper is thin, offers a premium barefoot feel, but is definitely on the plasticky side of things. With that said, it's raw and definitely not as cheap as what you're going to find from so many other speed boot options in this particular price bracket. The central lacing system allows for a great fit and phenomenal lockdown. I actually really like the MG stud pattern that Nike offers on the Academy variations, meaning that if you do play on artificial grass and firm natural grass, you can get away with using this stud pattern on both playing surfaces. The sole plate is well above average for a football boot in this price category, and the small zoom unit in the heel, while I don't think it makes a big impact on performance, it's something that I think a lot of people will get a kick out of. And again, for $85, I think it's more than you can expect, or at least more than we've come to expect from Nike or any other brand at this price point. If you absolutely must have a pair of speed boots but don't have the budget for something more expensive, this is a really solid option. If you're more of the no-nonsense type and you just want something that feels super comfortable on your feet and of course doesn't break the bank, the Adidas Copa Sense Point 3 retailing for $80 is awesome value for money. The leather you get through the forefoot and toe box area is extremely soft, and that's paired up with this kind of mesh base, almost neoprene type synthetic that's super pliable, really soft, central lacing system, one-piece upper construction, which does give it a very comfortable kind of contoured fit particularly around the midfoot. The softness from the leather at the front, like I said, requires no break-in time whatsoever. It doesn't suffer from the shallow fitting heel that so many Adidas takedown models seem to have, and while the sole plate end stud pattern isn't anything groundbreaking, it feels nice and solid and offers really good traction that's just super reliable. For 80 bucks, it's really hard to beat these. Like I said earlier in the video, very few takedown models feel anything like the top end ones that people want to compare them to. However, in the case of the Puma Future Z 2.4, which retails for $130, compared to the $200 Future Z 1.4, it is almost impossible to find a difference. The sole plate and stud pattern, identical. The upper, pretty well identical. The fit, pretty well identical. The comfort, phenomenal, as good as what you're going to find from the top end variation. And aside from some minor differences in the heel liner and some minor differences in the lining of the insole, you are again going to be very hard pressed to discern any significant difference between these and the top end variation that retails for $70 more. Because it's not the most popular model in the world, even though it retails for 130 bucks, you can get it on sale for $100 or less pretty easily. And if you're looking for that high-end football boot experience, well below the normal $200+ asking price, you're gonna be really happy with these. Not to mention, it also gives you the option to wear them with or without laces. And while I do think they are much better with the laces intact and keeping your feet nice and secure, if you're on the market for a pair of laceless boots on a budget, this would definitely be your best option. Simplicity as a feature is something that's very underrated in the world of football boots, and the Nike Tiempo Legend 9 Academy is the perfect example of everything that you need and nothing that you don't, especially given that these retail for just $75. You're getting a majority calfskin leather upper with the leather running through the entire forefoot and midfoot, memory foam inserts in the midfoot as well as in the forefoot to give you a little bit of additional cushion on the ball. It's soft, it's comfortable, the boots mold to the shape of your feet. Some synthetic leather on the lateral side of the midfoot to maintain structure and lockdown. A nice deep central lacing system with a standalone tongue, which makes these refreshingly simple to put on and take off with plenty of adjustability. Comfort through the heel liner, internal plastic heel counter, and a sole plate end stud pattern that, despite the $75 price tag, truthfully doesn't feel that much different from the sole plate that you're going to get on the $230 version of the exact same football boot. Are they as good as the elite variation of the Legend 9? Definitely not, but they do come pretty close for a fraction of the price.